Why is the black woman the most unprotected and disrespected woman on the planet? Everywhere I traveled around the world, black people at the bottom, economically and socially. And it's not because we stupid, because we create every goddamn thing out this motherfucker. What's going on to our children? Why did they cancel all those television shows? A Different World, Martin, where they were showing black on black love. Now we got Love and Hip Hop, where all you see is black, dysfunctional women fighting all day. And you let your children watch this. And we got Empire, where not one black man on that goddamn show has a good, healthy relationship with a black woman. What's being done to us, family? Why black men are so excited to kill other black men and fight with other black men? It worked, brother. Do your ears work? Come talk to me. What happened to black on black love? What's going on? I love you, brother. That's why I'm out here. And I love your descendants. That's why I'm out here. Because you are... Peace and love, black family. This is a show called New Age Africans, where we practice Pan-Africanism. Right? Are you familiar with Pan-Africanism?
Somewhat.
Somewhat? Okay, so basically it's the ideology that no matter where we are around this world, that we all come from the continent, and that we are descendants, and that we all arrived from the diaspora. So the question I've been asking today is, why is the black woman the most unprotected and disrespected woman on the planet?
The media. It's in the music. It's what they put on TV to show the youth. That's why they disrespect the black women. But yet we need to be protected by our kings. But it's not happening.
Well, we know who controls the media. Obviously, that's a Eurocentric entity. You know what I'm saying? How do we break away from that? Because I guarantee I've been out here all day, and maybe 5 people stop and talk to me. How do we break away from that Eurocentric media?
The only way is to unite and create our own everything. Supermarkets, school, churches, banks, everything. That's it. That's the only way.
And you have a flag on. For those who don't know what your flag represents, what Caribbean island is it from?
This is actually a country in South America called Guyana.
Oh, Guyana. That's actually the only South American that does speak Spanish.
Yes, the only English-speaking country in South America. Yes.
Right.
You know your history.
Yeah, of course. I got to know the whole diaspora if I'm going to connect with the people. Right. I got to know. You know what I'm saying?
So where are you from?
My mom is from Haiti and my dad's from Africa.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm just a total part of the diaspora. Sweetie, you got anything to say? You wanna build on that? I got one question. Come here. I got one question. Let me get one question for you. Just one question. Why are black women the biggest consumers of hair products and makeup throughout the world, and skin bleaching products? What's going on? What's being done to the black woman's psychology? Why are we so self-hated?
Because the stereotypes that we get. So everything is much harder for us. So everything we have to put up, work a little bit harder, because of the stereotypes and what they put us through. So it's not easy. So that's why we're aggressive women and we're strong women, because, what we've been through and how we were raised and what we are right now.
Yeah, and that's definitely systemic. The black woman being an aggressive woman, especially here in America, black women have always had to be tough.
Because,
right.
What they've been through, and history. Everything leads back to something. There's always, a cause and effect, So
how?
This is the effect you get now.
Right. So how can we change that? How can we get back to just loving one another and building with one another?
We can do that, but there's good and evil in the world. So you get what you get. At this moment, like I said, that cause and this make it the effect. You can make it better, do counseling, do this. But when you got something in your heart and you believe in something, that's what you believe in. And some people, you can't change it. It is what it is. Right.
So focus on those that we can change and build with them.
If you can't, then it is what it is. Because that person just went through something. We never know what that person may go through. And, and cause them to be the way that they are.
So in sociology, the first rule is not to look at who suffers from a problem, but who benefits from the problem. So when we look at black on black crime, don't look at black on black people because they're the ones committing the crime. Look at who benefits from it. Europeans have these systems of government where they lock us up. You know what I'm saying? So everything in America is financial. So the black image of the black woman being destroyed makes her go out and buy the makeup, makes her go out and buy the hair products. This was a test done in the 50s with black kids and a doll, baby, right? And the test hasn't changed. The results haven't changed since 2011, where they asked black kids, who's the nice doll? Who's the pretty doll? And they still come and say...
They want to see what people like and what's going on. So they want to see, it's a trend. It's called trend. So what's trending?
Yeah.
You know?
We definitely are the most trendy people on the planet, and the self-hating us is real. I just want to know, how can we rebuild that love? How can I make a black woman feel great about wearing her natural hair? How can I make her feel wonderful about not putting on makeup, just getting up out of bed, brushing your teeth, and going?
The same way they make us not like ourselves.
Exactly. You can't.
The media, the music, you know. That's
But we don't control the media, though.
no. But like I said, create
Exactly.
your own.
It's good and it's bad.
Create your own.
This is why I'm here.
You
Create
have
my
to.
own media.
You have to
Exactly.
create your own. That's all we have to do. Unite and create our own. That's it. That's the only way.
And help build each other.
That's
Support
the
team.
only way.
How we can bring that, come together and support each other.
Right.
Because supporting each other and networking with each other make us stronger, make us better, make us mature. You know. So the only thing is, what takes a woman to be, less aggressive is, it can be maturity. Some people that realize it, like, hey, you know what? I'm just like this. Why am I? And them realizing it. It can, them realizing, what it is and want to work on it. Some people don't want to realize it or don't realize it,
One of the most, and I just touched back on the aggressive part, one of the most hidden things in our community is child molestation and rape, right? It's something that we don't talk about in our African community. And, that could be a source, too, for a lot of anger for black women and a lot of distrust for black men, because they've been molested by black men. The men that's supposed to protect them are the ones who are doing them the most harm. So, I believe that we need to get back to definitely dying for our women, protecting our women, and educating our women.
Like I said, it's always the cause. So it's as the cause that started, and now that's the effect that you're getting. So it was a reason why all the black men are molestation and all that, because it's the cause. Something happened to them, or you never know that person's story or that life, and it trend down,
Right. Okay, well, I thank you, Queens, for your time. Are you enjoying yourself today? Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Love to see African people enjoy themselves. Peace, Queen. So the Queen actually forgot to promote her brand, because we do support black businesses with New Age Africans. So support it, throw it out there so they can know what's going on.
My name is DJ Nelly. You can follow me on Instagram at DJ Nelly03, and I also have my own clothing line. It's called Limitless, where I believe our limits are limitless. There's no limit to what we can do. And you can follow me on Instagram on that page at Limitless JKLM. Limitless LIMITLESS JKLM. Thank you.
Definitely support that all the way, family, because black economics is one of the things that we need to focus on with black African unity.
And another one.
Oh, go ahead. Come on, Queen. I'm sorry.
Hey, my name is Marquita. Carplugs.com. Carplugs with a Z. All your car needs. Lease, finance, cash, rentals. I have it all.
All right. Definitely support that, family. Thank you, Queens. Talk to me, black man. Talk to me.
I want to hear what you got to say to me.
I'm saying, why? Come over here. Why is the black woman the most unprotected and disrespected woman on the planet? How can we rebuild black economics? Some of the situations that we face is all socially engineered. You know what I'm saying? Where you from, brother?
Cameroon, Africa.
Woo! You from the continent. Okay, that's that real powerful energy right there. You know what I'm saying? And just to throw a little fact out there, a lot of the Africans, there's a big stimulation going on. They say a lot of Africans don't mess with African Americans or Africans outside of the diaspora. How do you feel about that?
It depends. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own opinion, but it's not really. It's like, for example, like, Asians feel towards black. It's not like we got anything towards African Americans. There's some Africans that I know, they're kind of like on guard. You know what I mean?
Right.
Coming to America, see how everything's different. People are brought up separately, talk to their parents in type of way in this country. So when Africans come from Africa, we're all African, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're all
but when they come, to this country and they see how people are different, it's kind of like, no, those people are bad. You know what I mean? Because they don't have the same morals as far as for example, speaking. Like when you walk into somebody's household, you greet everybody. Some American, some people that are born in this country, they don't care. You know what I mean? They walk in the household and nod. You know what I mean? To somebody's parents without bowing down, or they wouldn't say nothing. And the African, the African parent look at that and just. So
it's more or less a cultural disconnect. The fact that we've been culturally disconnected from Africa is the fact that a lot of Africans from the continent don't really want to deal with us. So we must get back to being African psychologically, right, and culturally.
Of course, correct. That's possible. With the help, with God. You know what I mean? And when people start listening, because right now there's a lot going on in this country. You know what I mean? I'm not the most perfect, young man, but it's time, for everybody to team up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we all we got.
Team Melanin.
You know what I mean?
Not even in the world, though, brother. I mean, excuse me, not even just in this country, around the world. Because if you look at some of the displays I have here, I mean, this is Africa. I have a whole display of just what happened in Africa during colonization. Wow. You know what I'm saying? You got here with the Congo, you know what I'm saying, where they were chopping off, Leopold was chopping off people's arms. You know what I'm saying? Recently, this story just broke in Africa. I think it was in West Africa, where a man was feeding black prostitutes, African prostitutes, to his anaconda. You know what I'm saying? In South Africa, they practice burning Africans alive. You know what I'm saying? In caskets. Yeah, to this day.
When was this?
Recently, the last one was like 2013 or 14. You know what I'm saying? They mistreat us all around the world. So this is just Africa. You know what I'm saying? The diaspora Africa that I have. When we go to India, look how they treat us in India. You know what I'm saying? So we like to believe that, love gonna conquer all, but the oppressor is not showing us love. Now let me ask you a question. How does African American culture affect the continent? Because I know there's a lot of Nigerian coaches, they pick up on what we're doing here. How have African Americans affected, you said Nairobi, right?
Where I'm from? Cameroon.
Yeah. Oh, Cameroon. How has African American culture affected your country? I'm
not really gonna say it's affected it. I mean, as far as it ain't really affected, it's kind of like an effect, like an effect. A lot of Africans now, with technology being going so rapidly in Cameroon, it's kind of like turning Cameroon more, not say Americanized, you know what I mean, but not in a bad way. Cause like you see it now, we got Wi-Fi in Cameroon, so everybody's seeing what they're doing over here. So it's kind of like turning it kind of like the same, you know what I mean? It's not really how it was before. Now everybody's kind of hip. You know what I mean? You go to Africa, you see people.
Yeah, I see what the Jews on, baby. I see you.
You know what I mean? It's, man. God,
now, do you think that's going to be a good overall effect or a negative effect? Because here in America, we're just being destroyed.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to say negative, you know what I mean? Because to be honest, a lot of the traits in America that they're picking up in Africa is not good. You see what I'm saying? Like the way they now, back in Cameroon or Africa, the music was different. Now it's, you hear them saying bad bitch, this and that. You know what I mean? So they're picking up a lot of ways and a lot of, traits. You know what I mean? It's just like, man, like I said, I ain't perfect myself, but I'm not blind. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a lot of following the leader. Because in Africa, look like, oh, that's cool. They're making money over there doing this. So let me sag my pants and told this gonna be cool too. You know what I mean? But I gotta go. I appreciate you for having me.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Right. Brother, you want to chop it up, brother? You want to get some?
I'm just gonna say one thing, man. Carnival 2017. If you wasn't here, you dead.
Where you from?
Where I'm from?
Yeah.
Jamaica.
All right, peace. That's from the family. Peace, black family. Who do we have here today? Lovely queen, too, with the natural hair. Who do we have?
Tamaya Williams. I am president of Daya, and I heard what you were saying, and I love it. I am all about progression of black people, and when I use that term, it's incorrect. It's not a real thing. It's not a real concept.
Right.
I am president of Daya, and it stands for Direct Descendants of Africans Enslaved in America. So our motive is basically a social movement to re-identify ourselves. We're not black. We're not African American. We are direct descendants of Africans who were enslaved in America. So 8/18/18, we're planning on having a strip day where we march, because the 400th year is 2019 since slavery.
Where is this march going to be at?
We're getting that all together. I just started it. I'm doing the groundwork to get the word out. So it doesn't. We have a website. Visit usddaea.com and register to become a Daya. So when you put, hey, what are you, African American, Latin, Caucasian, you put other and you write Daya, because when they commemorate, the government is commemorating the 400 years since the first 2015 slaves arrived here. So who are they? Who's that group? How will you identify? And there are bills for reparations that they owe us. We're that group. We're Dayas. Because, yeah, you're commemorating it, but who are you commemorating it for?
Now, I'm all for reparations, and this is just my personal opinion. I don't think that we should be giving reparations in the form of financial. I think that we should be giving reparations in the form of psychological help, because we have all the benefits. We have everything that we need here in America. We are the most richest Africans in the world.
Yes,
in the world. And if we don't get it right, this 12% of us here in America, nobody in the world is ever going to...
And I completely agree. So, because we have a form of PTSD.
Yes.
Our brains, the DNA that we've had, that has been altered since slavery times, has transferred into our posterity. So the minds of black people definitely has been altered. We've endured.
That trauma is passed on through the womb.
Right.
We've endured a lot of trauma. So the reparations you say definitely are psychological. I agree. We need mental help instead of taking us, put us in jails, put us in reform, like to actually reform us, not to enslave us again, another form of it. So I agree, we should get that too. We should definitely talk, so we can get that too. But I think we should get money too. Free education.
Okay.
Free education.
May I add to what they are saying?
Come on, go ahead, brother.
It's so interesting that you guys are sharing something like this. As a senior, I want to say we have to question ourselves. What's the purpose of my earthly existence? And sometimes we have to put away the black and white issue. We all have purpose and meaning in this world. And once we come to realize this, then we change the way how we think and how we behave. Because everything lands in the garden of sowing and reaping, cause and effect. Whatever you send out, come back to you. Right. So in other words, if we feel that we are being oppressed and enslaved, and we keep thinking this, we create such an image that this is what's going to inflict its own wound on us again and again, and we think the same thing again and again. We have to change the way of thinking, knowing we are more than just a human being. Meaning, deep within every human being, encapsulated within us, is a divine being we call soul, because we are not of this world. This is only a transitory camp for us to clear things up, forgive each other, make amends, do not do the same thing we recognize which is sinful or unlawful, and live accordingly. So we are not just a black man or a white man or people. We are essence. We are cosmic.
But how do you practice that sense? What you're saying? How do you practice that? How do you practice that when white people are not taking their foot off our throats? See, we can practice love and prosperity and all those. They sound great. You can be tranquil. It sounds perfect. I love it. But the problem is not us, because we've been loving them since they've been whipping our ass. Excuse my language, elder. They've been whipping our ass. We've been showing them love. We've been trying to, unite with them. They don't want to unite with us. So the problem is not us. The problem is not us.
Okay. It's not so much looking at it in this direction. I say, remember when I opened the statement, I say coming to recognize or realize the purpose for our earthly existence.
Thank you.
So in other words, we have to really change the way how we think. There's a lot of information in this world, a lot of knowledge, but we're asking ourselves, what kind of knowledge, what kind of information we're receiving, so we can transform the way how we feel and think. Because if we continue pointing our fingers at them, this is a negative energy. We give them that power over us. That's how you.
But it's not. I'm not pointing, me personally, I'm not pointing my fingers, I'm educating. Because a lot of us may not know that we suffer from racism, white supremacy. Because racism, white supremacy is the engineer that miseducates our children. And miseducation is the number one key to mass incarceration. This is worldwide sociology. Everybody knows this. If you miseducate a people, they will resort to different ways to means for themselves. You as a man, me as a man, my whole primary goal is to feed my children. If I can't do that, I'm going to do the same thing the Italians did. The Italian mob, when they came in from America, racism would have not let them get jobs. So they created the mob, and they took from other white people. We're no different from any other group on the planet. It's just the fact that our skin color, and they're holding us down more severe than any other race on the planet. So if we don't know, what I'm trying to say is, if we don't know that we suffer from racism, and we think everything is equal, everything is love, and everything is this, then we're going to continue to be victims of racism, white supremacy.
Okay. We're talking of white supremacy. We are giving that energy and that power into it. I'm not denying the things you are saying, but why are we giving them this kind of power and this energy, giving them dominance over us through fear? So in other words, we have to come to know of something with much more substance, knowing that we are not just human beings or anything you could pick up and throw away. We mean much more, and we have to change that behavior. Meaning, we have to, as I say, nip it in the bud. As the little ones coming up, we have to recognize the little faulty behaviors in them and how to guide them to be useful human beings on this earth. You see the black and white issue? I am aware of it. But let me tell you something. I am a 66-year-old man. So in other words, I am telling you from my experience, I'm drawing from, I'm sharing with you. And they have to recognize themselves too, because everything is about sowing and reaping. Whatever you sow, this is what you reap. So we have to change that direction, how we even think about them. Don't send that negative impulse towards all the time, because it come back to us. It's not everybody we can love at the moment, but in your heart, keep them in your heart. and you see things will change, because by our example, we will be stronger and they will change.
Okay. Well, thank you, brother. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you. A pleasure. Peace, black family. What's your name, Queen?
My name is Carrie from Staten Island, New York.
Ooh, way from Staten Island to come out here and enjoy the events,
Yeah,
huh?
well, I stumbled across it. I got off a ship. Was hanging out in Tampa. Somebody said Miami was having it, so we here. We drove 4 hours.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep.
So the question I've been raising all day is, why is the black woman the most unprotected and disrespected woman on the planet?
Because she's the strongest. Everybody's afraid of the strongest. I mean, look in the wars. What is it? The newborns, the babies in the incubator. Who be the strongest one? The black woman. That's basically what it is. Just like they threatened by the black man also. It's your second. I'm first. You're second.
So they destroy the black man and then excuse me, Queen.
They destroy the black woman and then they destroy the black man.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Then again, they destroy you guys also because you're supposed to be our protectors, right? But what happened? They took you out the home, right? They're locking you up. They're putting you in jail. They ain't got no jobs. You're a threat, bro. You're a threat. We melanin. Come on. We created the sun.
Yeah. I appreciate that, Queen. Thank you. Hassan. Brother Hassan. Thank you. Yeah. Come on. We got some Trini. Got some Trini?
Yeah, we got
Trini?
some Trini in here, man. Represent. You see the flag? What's up?
Let me ask you a question. The question I've been raising all day is, why is the black woman the most disrespected and unprotected woman around the world?
Well, first of all, we have Trump. First of all.
He's racist, so there's a lot of racism. There's a lot of undercover racists that surface now.
Exactly.
So now everyone's just...
And then slavery started all. But racism never ends. The racism is still going on. I see it every day within black people, within me. And I honestly, I think it will never stop. It will never
be
stop.
racist to we, and we Bronx can't we even black, but I feel for the black people because that's just not right, you know.
So you don't consider yourself to be black? Are you a part of the diaspora because you're representing Trinity? Are you a part of the diaspora? Do you consider yourself to be black?
I don't
really
consider
mind
myself.
it, but you know.
I consider myself different.
Different?
Yeah.
Because I think white people is normal. That's what society sees it as.
Okay.
But we, black people, Trinidadians, and so on, everybody different. They see we are something lower, like a lower class. So that's why I think they always have white,
White supremacy.
White supremacy.
Yep.
That's a good word to use.
Yep.
White supremacy.
Yeah.
White
That's a real
supremacy.
good word. So how can we fix these issues? Because there are systemic issues that we face as colored people, as black people, as African people. How can we fix those issues?
Everyone looks up to leadership. So if the leadership does right, then everyone who follows him will do right. But since he's being racist, everyone else, all the white people, not all of them, or most of them are being racist.
Well, we had good leadership with Barack Obama. He was a fair example, but racism still exists. Trayvon Martin happened under Barack Obama. Mike Brown happened under Barack Obama. So racism still exists with a good form of leadership. So it has to be something else that we have to do.
Well, this is when well, I don't think the people that exist right now could be fixed because the conditioned, the mind conditioned.
Right.
But once you start growing the kids up without that racist mentality behind your subconscious mind, that's when it will be fixed. You have to see each other as equal. You grow 2 kids up that black and white, they'll never know oh, I better than you, or you better than me, because we just put the parents just put out in their head oh, he black, why you dating he, why you doing this? But it starts from the bottom. It starts from the very beginning.
There's always going to be racism because of prior history and everything. There will be 1% or 2%, but there's always going to be racism because there's some people that's going to be brought out that way, and there's some people who isn't. But there's always going to be racism, no matter how hard we try.
Yeah. So that's a social issue. We can't destroy racism because it was socially engineered within us. So let me ask you a personal question. What are you mixed with? You're Trinidadian, right? What do you mix with?
Well, I think if you go all the way back,
huh?
I think if you go all the way back, we're Indian.
We're Indian people, but a lot of people consider us black, and we still get the racism even though we're brown skinned. So we feel for the black people, anyways.
Do you get it from other Indian people?
No, we get it from a lot of white people.
White people.
Yes, we do get it from a lot of Indian people because I'm looking at we as the the leftovers.
Yeah.
Got you. But we do get it from a lot of white people.
We always gotta
all
try
the time.
harder than the white people to get jobs, to wherever we go or
Like,
whatever.
I still don't know where I belong. Like, I still feel left out. I still, like, I don't
So
know.
if we're
Do you feel accepted here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so amongst the Africans, you feel accepted.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good.
African people, cool.
Yeah.
But American African is different. Where you from?
My mom's from Haiti, my dad's from Africa.
All right, American African different because American African people are more racist than white people. Think about that for a second.
Okay.
Because they have the card, they always pulling the race card. You know, like I've been bullied.
Now, when you mean racist, you mean prejudice, right?
Yeah.
Because racism implies that you have power. It means that you can create laws to say, well, you can't go to this school because you're Trinidadian. That's racism. Prejudice just means that I don't like you because you're Trinidadian. So racism and prejudice has like two different connotations. They're two different things. So a lot of people misuse the word racism or racist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that before. Thanks for letting me know. It's prejudice.
Prejudice, yes.
Prejudice.
Yes. Okay, well, I thank you for your time. I truly appreciate it. What's your name?
Andrew.
Andrew. And your name?
Aviance.
Thank you. Enjoy your time today, okay?
You got a cool ass name.
Thank you. So I asked the question. I said, why is the black woman the most unprotected, disrespected on the planet? This gentleman right here, my fine black brother, walked by.
Stop them butt shots, baby. You don't need those. You all right.
Stop getting the butt shots. So now, here's the question. What is being done to the black woman's psychology that makes her want to get the butt shots?
They fuck their own head up.
They fuck their own head up? Black people don't own no media.
They worry too much about stupid shit.
Hold on, but black people don't own no media.
Why not?
We don't own any media.
Why not, though?
Media is controlled by white people.
Why not? Why?
What do we own?
We live in America. Go somewhere else if you don't want white control media.
That's
go
everywhere.
To yard, go Haiti. Hell no. You
It's called, you see right there? It's called global racism around the world. We suffer from the same thing, brother.
That's cool.
The
That's
same
cool.
thing, no matter where we go.
That shit is up here though.
It's up
You
there.
feel me?
But we gotta change the psychology first. If we don't change our psychology,
That's
people
all
like
to
this.
the people, my guy.
I love you, right? I love you, right?
Pause, but we can keep it.
Nah, I don't fall into the homosexual category. I'm not scared of that. You get what I'm saying? You my brother. You a reflection of me. So when I look in the mirror, I see myself within you. And so that creates that love for me. That's a healthy sense of love. The fact that I love myself, I automatically love another black
I'm
man.
gonna tell you right now, the music we listen to, it fuck us up. I love it, but it fuck us up.
All right, peace.
Damn, don't say
What y'all got? So the question of the day is, how can we restore black on black love, black economics? How can we get back to our natural self as black melanated people?
Damn, I wasn't even coming on here to talk about that.
Okay, we'll come a little closer and talk about what you
I
want
was
to talk about.
coming on here to talk about how there's no flags for Anguilla. Like, what's going on? Like, there was just a hurricane, they got affected by it, and there's no flags for Anguilla. Like,
Pause for a second. You got to bust down the demographics of Anguilla, right? And you have to bust down the population. Because a lot of people may not know that.
Okay, but
The population.
Dominican Republic.
Okay, Dominican
But
Republic.
my niggas from Anguilla.
Okay, where's
and
Anguilla?
I feel like, listen.
South America, the
It's-
Caribbean.
Listen, it's in the Caribbean. It's
Okay,
right near the
okay.
Virgin Islands.
Okay.
Where near St. Moritz. Like, I don't understand. Like, what's the problem? Like, we don't have no flags for us or anything like that. So what's going on? Like, we're a part of the Caribbean. It's the Carnival. We're supposed to be supporting everyone. What's going on?
That's a problem that we have to break down in the diaspora.
You know, I love all black people. I'm black myself. I'm Dominican, but I feel like as though I'm black because, you know.
What's the issue in Dominican Republic that a lot of Dominicans don't want to identify as being black or African?
I'm not sure because I love being black.
Let the
I
rest
love
of
being
life be
identified.
listen.
I love being
Listen,
identified
I'm
as black.
mixed, and I always say
Mixed
it
like
don't.
what?
My mother is from Jamaica, from Kingston,
Nice.
Mayatino.
Yeah.
And what
And
are
my father's from Sicily.
I just want everybody to see
nice,
your complexion.
nice.
Come here,
No,
bro.
everybody
I want
gotta see
everybody to
your
see your complexion
complexion.
and your hair. You know what I'm saying? So you're a part of the diaspora.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
a lot of diaspora is African people who are spread out throughout the world. That's what a diaspora
Yeah.
is,
Okay.
right? So a lot of people like to color base the diaspora and say, oh, they're not African or they're not this color because they're not the typical black person.
Yo, tell him, yo.
And I'm just straight
Come to the front.
Straight Dominican, but
I'm on a TV show.
but what is your lineage? Do you consider yourself to be African?
Come to the front.
I consider myself to be African, absolutely.
African descent.
Absolutely.
So
Why
the-
not? I'm definitely dark skinned. I'm definitely from Africa. I got some African, some Mediterranean, some Spaniard, all that shit.
That's dope. Can I speak on this? I'm gonna tell you this, right? I'll tell you what. I've always associated. I grew up around my whole like Jamaican side, my whole black side, right? But
So how you dance? You gotta show us.
what? Can I dance?
Yeah.
Yo, I will. What? Don't even play. Don't even play. But I say this, right? To speak to the masses, I'll say this. You know, it's not about like what you are aesthetically. It's about what you believe in. and it's about how you flex off that, right? Like, it's all about fuck Donald Trump. He gonna tell you gotta fit in a box. Fuck a box. Do what you do and believe in it, and don't ever waver from what you believe in. And the rest of your life will be, listen. No. Listen. And the rest of your life will always be the best of your life. Don't, especially for mixed people out there, do what's best for you and how you identify yourself. And
Now, see, I believe that mixed people are black by default, meaning that white society would never accept them, right? So they're black by default.
Can I say something about white society? I feel like white society, you guys are not white. You guys are Spaniards, not even just Spaniards. You're from Europe. You're mixed. You're not an American. You're foreign. So Trump, you're foreign, my nigga. You're foreign. You're not from America. Your family came to the United States, and that's how they became Americans. Irish people, Italian people. Even then, I lived in that.
Is Trump white? Is she from the U.S.?
I'm from the. Listen,
She ain't from the U.S.
He's
Exactly.
not. Like, I come from Philadelphia, and it's very different to see like Caribbean people come from Philadelphia to come to here. Like, you guys are really Caribbean people. All right. From Trump, my nigga, you're not fucking white. You're from Europe.
But you know, I have to say this: Trump's attitude is the reflection of the United States. He's only giving the people what we subconsciously don't want to deal with.
They're sick. Irish people, if you meet Irish people, I work at a hotel.
Listen,
if you meet Irish people,
white people have been waiting.
They're
White people have been waiting for Donald Trump. Donald Trump makes people, they feel like they've arrived because everything he says is what they couldn't say because they thought they would be like, oh, we would be like, man. He just bring everything, all the bullshit to the forefront, and that shit is real.
All right, I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, seeing Italian people and German people here in Miami, they're very foreign about the situation. But seeing them like in Philadelphia and in Pennsylvania and everything like that, they do think that they're like Americans. No, you guys speak a different language. You guys do not speak English. You guys don't even understand English. You guys are not fucking Americans.
Listen, man, we out here. West Indian culture is the best culture at a bias because there's
West Indian culture is honestly just the diaspora because it comes from Africa. So it's just, I call it Little Africa. Right. That's what I call Caribbean.
You know what it is? It's an extension of like the African American diaspora, like at its true form, right? Yeah. Like all this shit we're doing right now, this shit was around thousands of years ago. Yeah. Now we celebrate it as if it's commoditized.
Right, it is. It is because we're not running this event. We're not running this event. Someone else is running this event, and all this money is not going to go back into the black community. But we're supporting this. Also, are you familiar with in the Caribbean? I don't know if they have it in here because I didn't go inside. They have the Moko Jumbi that comes from West Africa, which is the spirits of the ancestors. Right? Do you believe in the ancestors?
Of course, man. I believe in the genesis of who we are as a core of our being. Of where we come from, man. This shit wasn't born yesterday in fucking Ocean Drive or Miami, man. This is true to who we are. But now we capitalize off of our image and our brand. The same way white people been doing for years. Imperialism, globalization, it ain't stopping. It's only to continue. Just because you look good don't mean shit. Believe what you know and know what you know, man.
Appreciate your time, brother. Appreciate your time, brother.
You already know, bro.
Thank you.